So if you guys have a Lexus IS250, kind of like the one behind us, or IS350, and you're driving and the car starts to lose power like ours has, and you start to smell a strong odor of rotten eggs, you've got a problem with the ignition coils. Today we've got a video where we're going to fix that. So we ran the top-down scanner tool, and we got some scan codes for a misfire from ignition coil, and the car is 2007. And so figured, being that it's almost 20 years old, it's time to replace the ignition coils. So I picked up a set of Denso OEM style ignition coils. These are made in Japan off of Amazon, with a set of OEM Denso spark plugs. So I will have a link in the description down below for both of those if you guys want to order them for your car. And then you're going to need some tools to get the intake manifold off. We got some fresh dielectric grease. So let's go ahead and let's start tearing things apart, and let's get into it. My name is Josh, this is JDM Right Hand Drive. If you like this type of content, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. So we're going to remove all this intake, snorkel, plumbing, this stuff out of the way so we can access the spark plugs and coils down below. So you guys can see our coils are right here, so we're going to remove the 3 factory ones. We got to get this harness out of the way, a couple of 10 mil nuts to zip off, and then we can pull those up and out. Use a 5/8 spark plug socket to get these out. We're going to take them out by hand so we can feel and make sure that we're not stripping anything. Time lapse. Alright, so let's take a look on the bench. We've got everything out from the factory stuff. And so if you guys were curious what model numbers these things are, so that's the model number Toyota Denso part. And this is the factory replacement, which is the exact same thing. I called the Lexus dealership, and you guys, I could not believe what they wanted. They wanted $200 per coil, so you're talking $1,200 for all 6. This is ridiculous. I picked these up on Amazon for like 380 bucks with tax, and it's exact same replacement part. You can see the rubber seals and everything are brand new, where these are kind of crusty. These are, the original ones. There's an X on this one, which kind of makes me wonder if this is the one that was like misfiring. Maybe somebody tested it before and saw that it was faulty and just, went with it. But let's take a look at the spark plugs. So these things are looking pretty crusty for sure versus the brand new ones. So those definitely probably have got some wear on them, and I'm going to measure them real quick just to compare the difference in size there in the gap. And filling the bottom of these, this is like not really too pliable. You can tell they're dried out. This is nice and pliable fresh rubber. These are getting kind of hard like plastic, so definitely time to throw these things in the garbage. But here's that model number for you guys if you want to contact the Toyota dealership and get the exact model number from them. You guys are welcome to. Otherwise, I will have a link down below. But I've got a spot for these. That's right over there in the garbage. So I wanted to measure the gaps on some of the old ones to see kind of how much wear is on them. And if you rotate them around, this one's measuring about 0.42. Same thing about 0.42, closer to 0.43. And about the same there. So they're definitely showing some wear. New ones, 0.40. So definitely going to make a little bit of a difference. Let's get these installed here, but first I'm going to put a little bit of anti-seize on them. Okay, so I'm going to apply a thin amount of dielectric grease to the boots as well as to the spark plugs on the porcelain section, and this will help the boots keep them from bonding to the spark plugs. And then I'm just going to sparingly put a little bit on the inside of each of the boots. Let's go ahead and reinstall our spark plugs. I like to tighten them all the way down by hand. Make sure that they're seated. Don't ever use power tools for this. We can go ahead and slip our ignition coils back into place here. So this side is all done. Looks pretty good. You can see those nice fresh Densos in there. That side was actually pretty easy. It didn't take too long, maybe a half an hour to switch them out, including me recording. This side's going to be a little bit more complicated. We have to take off the intake manifold. So there's a bunch of little things you have to disconnect all the way around. Make sure your battery's disconnected before you start messing with the throttle body and all that type of stuff, and unplugging sensors and things like that. So I'm going to time lapse this. We're going to use our long sockets to get down into these like hex bolts. So it will require some hex sockets, real long ones like these. Especially like down in there, there's an Allen head way down there. Okay, so we've worked our way around. We've removed the throttle body. This little sensor, make sure you take the bolt off of there so you can slip that back. And we've gone around and basically all these bolts right down the center. And then on the back side, you've got a couple of 10mm bolts that need to come out, so you can remove this piece here and that vacuum line. And then there's one more bolt down here right by this little plastic piece. And this is all of our hardware. So there's really not too much that holds this whole thing on. And then you guys can see it's now loose. It'll just pop up and out. Come around to the back side. There's a couple of vacuum lines you gotta pop off. And then you got a sensor buried down here as well. So you guys want to make sure we got nothing falling down into here, and we've got a little bit of oil blow by, so that doesn't look good, but we need to remove this last little vacuum line. So there we have it, guys. Now we can disassemble this side. It's the exact same as the other side. Okay, so what I decided to do is, you guys can see there's quite a bit of oil residue in this intake manifold. So it's my belief that the PCV valve needs to be replaced. So I went ahead and bought a new one, and I'm hoping that this new valve will help to restrict the oil flow. So let's pop that in real quick. So the PCV valve is actually right over here, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this vacuum line off of here, and then we'll put a socket on that, crank that off. So here's the two valves. The old one definitely sounds like it's faulty compared to this. So let's go ahead and get it put in. I'm going to spray spray this out with brake parts cleaner real quick to clean out the residual oil, like the oil residue in there, and then I'm going to put everything back in the reverse order. We'll start it up, take it for a test drive. Make sure to reconnect that PCV vacuum line. We're almost done, guys. If you inspect your throttle body and it's not clean like ours, I'd already cleaned ours out previously, make sure you clean that out. That can affect the way your car runs. Make sure your battery is disconnected, of course, when you do that. And from here, we're pretty much good to go, guys. Let's throw the intake snorkel in, button her up, and fire her up. Look at those Denzos peeking out down there. It's going to keep this thing running nice, safe, and reliable for my daughter Madison. Down there, just nice and happy. Well, that was a pretty quick install, guys. It took me about 2 hours altogether, including filming. If you're not filming, you could probably do it in an hour to an hour and a half, I'd say. But everything's back together. Mass airflow sensor was never bothered. All these vacuum lines are back on. Let me know if your car, guys, if you have a cap on like the vacuum line inlet to the intake manifold. I'm not sure if that's supposed to go somewhere. I see like some hosing here. To me, it seems like it's supposed to go across that and go somewhere over here. I bought this car used, so I'm not sure exactly what was done to it before I got it. Everything's tightened, all the hardware here. Make sure you guys reconnect the vacuum line here and here, as well as the bolt that was down here. And yeah, we are good to go. Let's go ahead, put the engine covers on, and we'll fire up. So we've got no check engine light, that's good. And what I want to do is kind of run it through the gears to make sure we have no retarded ignition, no loss of power, and that everything's running smoothly, and then I can give this thing back to my daughter. Gotta get that TPMS sensor fixed. So the reason you want to replace that PCV valve is when too much oil goes back to the intake, it can kind of foul your spark plugs and cause your engine to kind of run crappy. And so it's definitely essential, and I think that part is recommended to be replaced either every 30 or 60,000 miles. So it was due anyway. This thing has 116,000 miles on the clock, so it was definitely time to get it done. All right, let's run this thing through its paces here. Yeah, plenty of power. Car feels good. I'd say she's working, boys. We are done. That's going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I've got my GTR back in the garage, and the Lexus is safely parked out in the driveway. It's running nice, perfect and clean, smooth. WRX is there. Now we can start finishing up the GTR build, and that's going to be the direction of this channel. If you're new to this channel, I do a lot more stuff than just Lexus IS250 stuff. We do a lot of, engine builds, turbo swaps, lots of crazy automotive stuff. My goal of today's video was, if you guys were someone like me that needed to do service on your car and you weren't sure how to do it, that this showed you enough detail for you to feel confident doing it yourself, and hopefully this inspired you to do so. Save yourself some money. Don't take your car to the dealership and pay some outrageous fees when you can just do it at home in a couple hours with basic hand tools. So if you guys like this type of content, hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, Brandon.